when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates Morning Show. I'm your host Renessa Ortiz and it is Thursday, the 16th of April 2026. I am joined in studio by Alex Brown. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning to you, Renessa. Good morning, viewers.
How are you this morning?
I'm alive and thankful. How are you?
I am good. The weather has eased up a bit from yesterday. Yeah.
Like
so it's going to be a lot less rainy and gloomy today. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping it's not scorching hot though.
And usually that is what happens after the rain has fallen for quite some time. The place tends to be very, very hot. But viewers, before we get into more of the programming this morning, we head on over to news in 90 seconds. Your news in 90 seconds starts now for Thursday, April 16th, 2026. The Division of Education, Skills and Innovations Secretary Orlando Kerr, at a ceremony on Monday, presented instruments of appointments to the boards of Tobago Information Technology Limited, chaired by Otis O'Neill, the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, chaired by Kino Sami, and the Training Awards Committee, led by Tricilia St. John Small. Secretary Kerr noted these appointments bring a diverse team ready to advance the island's tech and tourism sectors. Tutor meets with the Ministry of Education today to finalize the salary adjustments. The Tutor Tobago officer confirms that calculations and communications are currently underway with the division until adjusted April salaries hit teachers' bank accounts, a significant step towards addressing long-standing wage concerns for the island's teaching staff. TEMA is putting the public on alert as the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season names are officially out, starting with Arthur, Bertha, and Cristobal. TEMA is urging Tobagonians to start building their emergency kits and reviewing family evacuation plans well before the June 1st start date. Finally, the Fair Trading Commission warns that unjustified price increases amid global developments will not be tolerated. They are monitoring the market closely to ensure consumers aren't being unfairly squeezed by anti-competitive behavior under the guise of international supply chain issues. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Tune in again at 6:30 p.m. for our full newscast. Alex, we're seeing that the teachers are currently having their calculations being done so that they can get some of that ease that they've been asking for the past few months.
A little closer to reality. We hope it happens quickly. I mean, teachers, they basically determine where we go as a people. If the teachers don't do well, then in spite of how brilliant our children are, the guidance that they need to set them on the right path would be lacking. So we're hoping that this helps to keep them motivated and encouraged to do their part in the development of our society.
And it's interesting that you mentioned motivated. A lot of times we say the work should be all the passion and motivation that we need, but these people have families. They have children as well that they have to put to school. They have children they have to take through school, those who have them in university. And not only that, when we think of the cost of living and things,
mortgages,
exactly, they also need their fair due done to them as well. And we hope that it encourages them and that it really gets to their accounts in time as they say it would, because I know they said that the Trinidadian counterparts received their salaries, but the Tobagonian counterparts did not.
I am hoping that in the future this would not be an issue for teachers or for any other public officer for that matter, where we rarely see these things happen side by side.
Yes. We're seeing also that TEMA is putting the public on alert for the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. I know it's getting really close to that time. The rain has already started.
Spent quite a number of years working at TEMA, and while I enjoyed the work, this was the time of the year that I did not look forward to. Yeah, I didn't, because there was always the potential for very, very protracted hours, and it when we had severe incidents, it put you in a place where you saw some very, very harrowing things. You know, sometimes people's circumstances don't allow them to do all that even they would like to do in terms of their own protection, and then the rainy season came, sometimes bringing along some really adverse weather, and you see them exposed to But in my view, no human really should be exposed to, the ravages of nature are real. So we continue to encourage viewers to do all you can do and make sure that as far as possible, your home and family are ready for the hurricane season.
I had the opportunity to work in the operations center at TIMA some years ago during World of Hope. I have to say years ago because it wasn't a year ago, 2 years ago.
Did you see me there?
No, you were there.
Good, then
don't
make it sound too long.
I got the opportunity to see how the operations center works in terms of tracking hurricanes when they start forming in the Atlantic? Yes, in the Atlantic, how they track it on the whiteboard. Also, I got the experience behind the phones as well when we had citizens calling in to say, oh, we have a landslide, rain is falling.
And hurry up, eh?
And then there's the work that has to go into find sometimes because there are persons out on job, so they aren't able to get there. So you might have to recommend getting a private contractor to come and help you cut up a tree or something of that effect. And it really shapes your perspective. It puts things into perspective that you usually would not think about otherwise, especially if you don't have to be within that mix-up. So really urging citizens.
And we give credit to the people at TIMA. They have been doing a really Herculean task over the years, and we trust that you keep the faith, keep strong, and keep going. Tobago depends on you.
So viewers, we're on to the celebratory segment of our morning. It's our birthday shout out. We have quite a few here this morning. First up, we have Asha Parks. Good morning and happy birthday to you. We hope that your day is as bright as those sunflowers in the background of your picture, and we want to wish you all the best going forward in this new year.
Next up, there's Justin Lindsay. This picture suggests some bit of peace, just looking out over this background. And we hope that today begins a year of peaceful development and reflection. We hope that you are going to really grow and find your best in peaceful circumstances, traveling that path that is set out for you. Happy birthday and God's blessings.
I just want to add one thing for Justin. Happy birthday from the Tobago Updates family. He's one of our own. He's on with the technical crew with the newscast in the night, and I hope you have a good day today. Up next, we have Tyrone Seeley. Happy birthday to you. We hope that today is filled with lots of joy, laughter, and you spend it with those who really cherish and appreciate and want the best for you going forward in this new year. Wishing you a prosperous year ahead.
And then there's Avi Williams. Happy birthday to you, Avi. We trust that you're going to have a beautiful day. There's a look of contentment on your face, and we trust that that carries not only throughout the day but throughout the new year as you pursue your path in this life. We wish you a really very good day and a year full of God's blessings.
Up next, we have Janelle St. John. I see you look like you're relaxing on the beach based on this picture. I hope today you get the opportunity to go to the beach, spread a blanket, take in some of the sun. I'm hoping that there's some sun today, and that you go by a bar, have a little virgin pina colada, and enjoy yourself to the fullest.
And last on our list this morning, but by no means least, Dr. Faith Brebner. We don't have to tell you who Dr. Brebner is. We say happy belated birthday to you, Dr. Brebner. She celebrated yesterday. It's coming especially from your mother, Lidmoy Brebner Dillon. And from all of us here at Tobago Updates, we wish you had a really good day and that this year becomes one of peace and productivity for you. Happy birthday, Dr. Brebner.
And that's it for our birthday shout outs this morning. To those who have birthdays today, happy birthday. And if you did not make it on our list, ensure to send your information so that you can be celebrated here on Tobago Updates. Now, Alex, what do we have in store for our viewers this morning?
This morning's lineup is quite an interesting one. We start with let's get that name right. Aldana Leonard Williams, and she's the organizer of A.L. Williams Educational Services and Consultancy. We're talking National Spelling Bee and Tech Park. Could I tell you something?
Sure.
There was a time, and I'm not sure that time is over. Spelling was really a challenge for me.
I've been to one spelling bee in my entire life. Just one.
Never.
Never.
Well, let me say it this way, I've moderated spelling bees.
Oh, so you weren't a competitor?
Never competed.
Okay.
Following that, we talk with the CEO of Parks International and the Executive Director of Network of Christians in Business. We're talking about Network of Christians in Business this morning, and we're reminding you that regardless of your persuasion, business is always an option if done well. Following that, we talk fit for life. Usually we hear fit for carnival, fit for life. You don't want to stay with us as we discuss natural health and healing, the 2-day self-healing protocol. Stay with us and we'll talk with these folks and keep you updated.
And there you have it, to our viewers joining us on YouTube, Facebook, AMPLIA, Flow, and Digital. We want to say thank you for staying tuned to us and making Tobago Updates your #1 station. But before we get into any of our conversations this morning, we want to remind you to share the live. Up next, we have Adana Leonard Williams, organizer of AI Williams Educational Services and Consultancy.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Baby, when you whine on me, somebody get the phone, go on the telephone. I get wet. I get wet. I'm looking all through the party. I hope I find you there.
Nice.
If I have to call a supervisor one more time to sign off on a customer because their financials are in a mess, I will scream.
Hey, don't scream in a bank. That have lockup in it.
It's either they're not registered properly, or you know what? We could just forget about annual returns, right?
Compliance is a bad word to most of them. Haul your compliance out of here. But let me eat.
What is wrong with Trinbagonians? I mean, it has so much help they could get out there.
Well, you know, Trinis, we don't like to spend we money.
But you know what? Be comfortable with losing we money. That make it any financial
What people should do is call Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wait, what? Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago Tax and Accounting Services. Yeah, they offer helping from registering your business to filing your tax. My lunch is over.
Wait, tell me more.
No, go and scream in the bank. You go and scream in the bank.
No, Antoine, don't get one sooner.
is the place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back, and as promised before the break, we're speaking with Adana Leonard Williams, organizer of AI Williams Educational Services and Consultancy. We're talking about MindStar National Spelling Bee and Tech Pack. Good morning and welcome to you. She's joining us virtually.
Good morning to you, and good morning to the viewers of Tobago.
Good morning and welcome. Now we're going to head straight into the interview. For viewers who are hearing about MindStar National Spelling Bee and Tech Pack for the first time, tell us what exactly it is and why is it different from our traditional spelling bees?
Right, so MindStar National Spelling Bee and Tech Pack is an educational flagship program. It would be the spelling bee that is above all the other spelling bee. It is different because it continues to build students' confidence. It continues to enhance their public speaking skills, critical thinking, and for the tech pack aspect, their exposure to technology and innovation.
Awesome.
So that's the difference. No other spelling bee has that tech pack aspect to marry English language competency to this digital world, which is very important for future careers for this generation.
Now, we understand that this initiative initially started in Point Fortin in response to a literacy issue that you observed. What were you seeing at the time that made you say this is something that needs to be done?
Right. So as a secondary school teacher and English teacher and literature in extension, I recognize that students lack the ability in both competently to express themselves in the written form and also orally. So from the conversations that you have with them, because remember our first language is Trinidad Creole, you get that from them. You do not get the English, the formal English language. And when they speak that way, that's the way they write. And with the introduction of a lot of social media via, if it's WhatsApp or even the other social media apps that young people do engage in, recognize that the competence and the proficiency of English language, it started to deteriorate slowly. So I said I have to look for a solution to improve students' delivery when it comes to preparation for the examination and in extension for their future progress in tertiary level education, or also when they have to go to interviews for them to express themselves, to impress their interviewers on the panel. So I found it necessary that if they have this command in the English language and a higher tier vocabulary and they have a plethora of words to play with, so that when you ask them sometimes in the classroom, you ask them a question. So for instance, let me give you an example. You say, how was your Easter vacation? What are some things that you did? Some of them will say, well, I went to the beach. I went to the mall, and that's about it. There's no further purging of I went to the name of the beach, the activities, express the activities that you went to, because they lack the word choice to choose to be able to express themselves. And if you are not reading, and if you don't have a bank of words, it becomes very challenging for you to express and persons to understand what it is you want to see. So I found it as in my capacity as an educator to do something about it. So this is where that spelling bee aspect came. So students will always have that bank of words, because when you do the words, you have to know the parts of speech of the word, the definition of the word, how to use the word in a sentence, and also the origin of the words. So it's not just spelling a word. All these different linguistic aspects are explored when learning the words. So, sometimes people just say a spelling bee, but any parent, teacher, teaching a child for a competition is meaningful to learn all this, because these are some of the questions. If children, they do not know, they can ask the judge, could you give me the definition of the word? Could you use the word in a sentence? So that helps the child propel to learn the words accurately. Also, you explore certain aspects like consonant blends, vowel diagraphs, all the things that you teach in the class. Sometimes children are just given an example, but in real life situations, they don't know it outside of the classroom. And the Mindster National Spelling Bee, the plethora of words we have, we would have gotten those words. We taught about the geography, the topography, flora and fauna, in Trinidad and Tobago, and also social studies, mathematics. These are things that the children would hear in class. They might write a note, but not pay attention to knowing this word, right? And for the tech back aspect, after coming back from a scholarship opportunity in Israel, which was pedagogical innovation, there I saw them marry technology in a very large capacity, because of post-COVID, new things that students were exposed to. Students are now more very exposed, and they love technology, and they married that liking for technology into the education system, which I hope in both Trinidad and Tobago that we do, because the interests of our learners are far different from the chalk and talk that you would have had and I would have had in years gone by. So the technology aspect shows them that even though they like it that much, there's also a word bank for everything that they are doing, from AI, from animation programming, from drone technology, from the virtual reality. Let's not just put it as something exciting and just fun alone. Let's look at that marrying of the English language expression and competencies in the technology aspect, because that is the way forward that we are going. If it's through AI in the classroom, through using laptops instead of books, we would be going in that direction. SBA is already going in that direction. CXC is going that direction. And this is the direction that the world is going. So we don't want to be left behind. So this is my input into the national domain to push this agenda forward. So I hope that the powers that be understand and see the importance to improve students, not just their academic excelling, but also in terms of their social life, the etiquette that we want students to, in terms of their speech and their deportment. So this is all these things are married into the thought process of Mindster National Spelling Bee and Tech Park 2026.
You've told us, Ms. Williams, quite a lot. Tell us, how long has this project, based on how you define it, I consider it a project, it's a long-term thing. How long has it been in existence, and have you been able to see as yet any positive results from having these activities done the way that you are attempting to do them?
Right, so definitely. So as your co-hosts would have highlighted, this started in my community of Point Fortin. And in the community, it started off as, just for the Burgesses around and their children. It started it right there. And the first year, which is post-COVID, the whole auditorium, which was in the Egypt Government Primary School, to my surprise, was filled to capacity that persons had to stand away from the area. And then I went across the road to what is known as the Point Fortin Arena, which held a larger space. And I recognized, putting it on social media, advertising it on social media, I started to get interest from the surrounding areas of Trinidad. I even had a student from Tobago in one of our competitions. So when I recognize I'm getting persons from Caranage, I'm getting persons from Arima, Maruga, all over the country, I said, this is attracting a lot of attention. then secondly, you will hear parents call, I really want my child to do something. I don't want them to spend the whole of July, August just playing and doing nothing. So they found this as a precursor to keep their child engaged in academia and not just go to school in September, losing all the things that they have learned. So this is where all this came about in terms of from Point Fortin moving to the Point Fortin arena, and then in 2025 moved to the Southern Academy for Performing Arts in San Fernando, because it started to outgrow these different places, and to put it in a middle ground for persons in different parts of the country to reach, it was a good location for students and their parents to come to participate. And it had the capacity that we needed to have everyone sit and be comfortable and enjoy a competitive spelling bee and tech bar competition.
Now let's talk about access. Who can participate? Which schools, which school levels, age groups that you are targeting and you're hoping to get for this spelling bee?
Right. So for the Tobago edition, we look at the public schools, both primary and secondary, and it's also exposed to the private institutions in Tobago. So I just would like to say in Tobago, I have continued not just the national spelling bee, but continue to make the spelling bee Tobago's competition, because that is how it started. And the winners of the Tobago leg in each category, 3 in primary school and 3 in secondary school, will compete in the grand national finals in Trinidad among the finalists there. So we still keep Tobago unique, and the winners, they go to represent Tobago in Trinidad for national finals.
Now, you've had support from schools, parents, and even corporate partners. How important is it for the community to really get involved in these initiatives, and how does it impact our young people?
Right. So our young people, they need support, not just support at school, but they need support in the community. They say that our community raises a child. And instead of hearing negative things about young people, this particular project is to uplift that young person, that the community is very important. The corporate community is very important, because children want prizes. We want to encourage them. We want to keep them going, and not just put them down. We need to support them also, to let them know that they can do it. Let them try. Let them continue to work towards challenges and overcome hurdles. So the community support, and we put things in a positive way, and we uplift the young people. When we look further down the road, when you and I get older, these same young people will be the ones who would they would be the new leaders of both islands. They would be the innovators. Some of them will be doing just as what we are doing here. And we need to invest in the future. Invest in the future generation. It is very important. So while we can do positive things to mold and shape them, so that in years to come, they would exemplify the same thing, it's very important for the community and corporate sponsors to be on board with these sorts of projects for future generations.
I like how you ended this answer with future generations. So looking ahead, what is the next step for MindStar moving forward? Where do you see this going in the next few years?
Well, I think big all the time. So MindStar is going to become the premier Caribbean spelling bee and tech bar competition, and do see it definitely will grow out of Trinidad and Tobago, and we will compete with our sister islands to continue to encourage and promote literacy, encourage and promote confidence building in young people, critical thinking, and also that exposure to digital and technology for future development in Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean in extension.
And finally, for parents, schools, or even sponsors watching right now, how can they get involved and be a part of this initiative?
Okay, how they can get involved. So I must say that we would have had a registration process, and in that registration process, we would have interacted with the Division of Education via the school supervisor through, and you would have sent the registration links to all schools in Tobago, and every primary and secondary schools, even the private schools who were interested, and they registered, so that the students were given the words at least 6 weeks before the actual competition, so that they would be able to get that vantage point to be able to learn some of the words. And for corporate Tobago, I just want to highlight the Division of Education, the support of the Division Secretary, Assemblyman Orlando Kerr, Ms. Chanel Felix, also the THA, the administrator, and her team, the SS3, and Corporate Tobago Penny Savers, Richard's Hardware, G1 Gopi's Appliances, and also with big support from Tobago Information Technology, Mr. Ian Williams and his team. And outside of that, we have support from SM Jalil, Holiday Snacks, Bermudez. To add to the tech park now, we have the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and also the very excited innovative robotics from Mr. Wendell Straker to make the day very enlightening. And if anyone wants to contact me, they can contact me at 707-4650, 707-4650 for any further information as we come to Tobago on the 23rd of April 2026 at the main auditorium at Shore Park Complex for an exciting, fun-loving event for students, their parents, and teachers.
Thank you so much, Ms. Williams, for sharing the spelling bee with us and for diving and telling us what really makes the importance for our future generations and what they need to strive going forward. Viewers, as we wrap up this morning with Mrs. Williams, up next we have Janet Parks, CEO of Parks International, for a network of Christians in business partners worldwide. Remember to stay tuned and share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you. with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. As promised, we're talking Christians in business. To have that discussion this morning, we're joined in studio by Janet Parks, CEO of Parks International, and we're joined virtually by Laddie Franklin, Executive Director of the Network of Christians in Business. Ladies, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Ms. Parks, let's start with you. Tell us, Network of Christians in Business and Partners Worldwide. Why, how, what?
Okay, thank you for asking that question. It's important for us, first of all, to distinguish ourselves as Christians in business. The word Christians, it's used very loosely, and I like to say Christ followers. We want to demonstrate what we believe through biblical principles in business. So I'll give simple examples. Do we give fair compensation? Do we obey the law? Are we our brother's keepers? So there's some very simple issues that we need as Christians to take to the workplace to add value. So that's what Christians in Business is all about. It's basically taking our lifestyle in terms of what we practice into our organization as entrepreneurs to make a difference and to add value.
I like the idea of adding value. You raised something as well. Whether we give fair compensation, because I remember, news headlines, there was a story saying that monitoring is going to be happening and that business owners will not be just allowed, how do you call it, to just, without due cause, increase prices to consumers and blame what's happening in the world. How much of that have you seen necessarily, not necessarily in your organization, but generally in business, and how do you think that impacts how business affects the society?
Okay, so that's really an excellent question, because that's part of one of the reasons why we really want to talk about the organization, because we need to make a difference. So we're in an environment where we are imposed with a lot of fines, a lot of penalties, price increases. Last week you bought goods at a particular level, this week it comes at another level. So we have to balance it to make sure that, one, our price increases in terms of our profits and so on, that it is reasonable, it is fair, it's within what is allowed in terms of, let's say you're in the retail industry, it's allowed within the retail industry, so that we should not, as Christians, be price gouging, for instance. So that I love that question, because that is where now the rubber meets the road, where we have to walk the talk, and demonstrate that we are different. So the issue is not about getting rich quick. The issue is being fair pricing, fair compensation, and I want to, insist on the fair compensation, because the Minimum Wage Act has, prices have increased in terms of minimum wage, but who says you have to pay minimum wage? If your business is making enough profit and you can pay your employees a better wage, why not pay them a better wage? So those are the things that we want to make a difference in. So if there's the law, we have to follow the law. Simple things such as national insurance contributions. Are you remitting those? You're collecting it, but are you remitting it? You understand? So we're saying we now need to start to make a difference. We're not saying people are not doing it, but we are now saying that we now want to really make a difference to ensure that once you name your name as a child of God, that you're walking the talk and you're really leading by example, because our society is fraught with corruption. It is fraught with corrupt practices. I mean, we see it all around. And we are saying we now need to make a distinction. It's going to be difficult, but that's why we serve God. God is our source, not our business. The business is just the opportunity to serve. And we are saying now, as children of God, as men and women of God, as business entrepreneurs, let's use those biblical principles and put them into practice and make a difference.
Now I'm going to direct my question to Laddie Franklin. I know she's joining us virtually. Let's talk about the workshop itself. When is it happening? Where will it be hosted? And what can participants expect from the experience?
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you once again for the opportunity. Yes, as we talk about the workshop, it's called the Redemptive Business Workshop. And I'd just like to add a little bit more about the organization, about the organizers, as I go ahead and talk about what the workshop is all about. As Janet would have mentioned, it's organized by Partners Worldwide USA in collaboration with its country partner in Trinidad and Tobago, which is a network of Christians in business that currently has 52 companies from diverse industry sectors on its platform. Partners Worldwide, by the way, operates through local partners in 36 countries around the world, with a mission to catalyze business as a tool for transforming lives and communities. Our mission, the mission of the NCB, is really rooted in 2 Corinthians 5:18, and that says that all things are of God, who had reconciled us to himself by Jesus Christ, given to us the ministry of reconciliation. And the key word there is all things. Everything that we have, everything that we own, including our businesses. We see business as a holy calling and as an instrument for redemption. And so our mission is to equip and to empower Christian business owners with knowledge and spiritual tools for leadership in business to enable them to operate in excellence by the wisdom of God and the power of the Holy Spirit. In terms of the workshop, our objective is to equip participants to be grounded in 3 core pillars or 3 core areas, and that is kingdom identity, kingdom assignment, and kingdom culture. And the aim is so that they can integrate faith and enterprise in ways that restore, uplift, and transform. We explore in the workshop what it means to reflect God's character through business, embracing values like integrity, justice, and servant leadership. So we have some key modules there covering the 3 areas. That's, like I said, kingdom identity. This is where we look at who are you as the called one? We are the called out ones. We are the ecclesia, right? Who are we as a called out ones? And understanding this identity as it presents itself in the marketplace, and as we seek to reflect God's character and purposes, which is what we are primarily called to do. In terms of kingdom assignment, it's all about what is the nature of this calling. Each of us has an individual calling from God, and that embracing this role as ambassadors so that we can represent the kingdom through business practice. And finally, we look at kingdom culture. And this is where we look at cultivating the values, the postures, and the norms of kingdom in the business. Because typically we do this in so-called sacred places like church and faith circles, but this is mostly needed in the marketplace and our businesses and our workplaces where we spend majority of our time. So that is what, in a nutshell, is about. And at the end of the workshop, we plan to invite participants who have been inspired, through the workshop to move from awareness to action, because the workshop is going to really, really provide insights and awareness, but to move from awareness to action and to embody the values of redemptive business, where we can continue to support them from that point to emerge and to serve as what we call ambassadors, redemptive business ambassadors. Effectively, they are ambassadors of reconciliation in their business, in their communities, and other spheres of influence.
Now, who exactly is this workshop for? Some may be wondering if it's for seasoned business owners, is it for startups, or even persons who are just exploring the field of entrepreneurship?
Yes, thank you for that question. Actually, we're inviting a unique set of business leaders in Trinidad and in Tobago. God's faithful servants in the marketplace and community, the builders. We're looking at these people who see themselves not just as business owners, because when God looks at the marketplace and looks at his people, he sees us first as his disciples before he doesn't describe us by our business. He doesn't define us by our businesses, but by who we are to him. Right? So we're looking at people who have this understanding and who are also community builders. We're looking for such people at this workshop. We see these people as those who are seeking to deepen purpose in business, and they would have had this conviction that God must have given them a business for purposes beyond simply buying and selling and services. And we believe there are some people who are already taking active steps in valuing impact over income, legacy over leverage, and prioritizing redemptive business practices. And they are looking to actively embrace servant leadership as a defining mark of influence. So we're looking for a specific set of people. We believe God has already started to talk to them in various dimensions and various ways. And we hope to be able to reach this set of people.
I'm not sure, ladies, which one of you are going to take this question, but I get the impression that this is not just a workshop for the sake of having one, but it's really intended to transform the business environment. So you're looking for specific people who lead, not just lead their business, but lead in terms of their mindset, lead in terms of their attitude towards business. How do you see this impact going beyond the workshop, and how do you expect it to transform the business environment when the workshop has ended?
Right. As I mentioned, first, the awareness itself, right, that business could be more than what you require it for. We see the transformation first beginning from there, where people no longer see their businesses, right? They see their businesses as tools for transformation. That is a direct impact. And if we look at the wider scope of things, every nation in this world, both developed and so-called underdeveloped or undeveloped, all of them agree that business is a tool for economic transformation and wealth creation. We believe that where there is dignified work, there is hope. And where, we have thriving enterprises, families flourish, right? So it's all wrapped up in this. But we believe that beyond what governments say and nations say, businesses have more power than that, because each person business owner is a church in the marketplace, and the church has tremendous powers given by God to bring about transformation, right? So we see, coming out of this workshop, we see redemptive business ambassadors rooted in love and purpose, who desire to be a catalyst to address the dire needs of redemption that our business currently faces. We see a lot of brokenness around. Some of those brokenness Janet would have talked about, right? And we see this not just from the side of employers, we also see employees also wanting to shortchange their employers, wanting to do little, right, for the salaries. There's a lot of brokenness. We also see sharp practices in industries, right? And all of this, we are light sent to the darkness. We are not sent to the marketplace, and as we typically do, seek to exclude ourselves. We are sent to the world and the marketplace to engage with darkness so that we can transform it. Right, so we see this mindset coming out, and we see also with the further capacity building we are going to do, we see it translating into action. And all around, and in a nutshell, we see we have this big vision and a faith vision that God is able to transform Trinidad and Tobago through business.
Mrs. Sparks, I will direct this question to you. I understand that there is a virtual information session that is coming up. For those who are unsure about committing, how would they, if they attend this virtual session, decide if this is the best suited workshop for them?
Okay, that's an excellent question. So in that session, we're actually going to have the facilitators themselves. And Laddie, I think, will speak more to that in terms of their background and so on. So they will be the ones who are conducting the information session, and they'll be giving all the details. So that's a really serious place to log in. It's going to be virtual, and we'll announce a date at a later time for persons who are still, some may be skeptical, some may just need clarity, for them to really come into that information session and ask questions, seek clarity, and then, of course, make the decision to attend.
There's a word that Laddie used that kind of stuck out to me. The word was ambassadors. How many of these ambassadors do you target, or do you look forward to having in Tobago in particular at the end of this workshop? And then, well, you don't have the date as yet, but as we come to an end in terms of this interview, we certainly hope it's not the last one. How do we view the network of Christian business persons on the island. What does it look like, and how do you view it growing in the near future?
All right, excellent question. Laddie, again, has a history in terms of trying to start an organization in Tobago, and that went kind of defunct. So we're now in the place where through this workshop, we're hoping to revive that. As she mentioned in detail, this is not a business workshop for the arbitrary person. This is a workshop for the founders, the CEOs, those who have a vision, those who understand purpose, those who want to see transformation in our society. Now, it's interesting that you asked that question, because I just need to stick in here very quickly that we had intentions for this workshop to be held in Tobago in March, but we had to now change that to September. So the actual dates are September 25th and 26th. Is 2 days, and we've had to change the venue to Trinidad, because at first the concept was to have a retreat, because business owners are so busy. So we wanted to try to tie in the workshop with the retreat, but that has not worked out. So we will be having the workshop in Trinidad for 2 days, September 25th and the 26th. It's going to be at the Cipriani Labor College. But to be specific to your point, I would love to see 20 persons from Tobago. We're targeting 60 persons because, of course, it's going to be very select. And I really want to appeal to at least 20 persons from Tobago, 20 business owners who understand the vision. And I will just stick in here that we have an incentive for the first 10 persons who register to ensure that your airfare is paid. The workshop price is $1,400 for both days. It includes lunch. It includes all the workshop materials. We have facilitators coming in from India. They are very versed in what they do. And I really am encouraging entrepreneurs in Tobago who really want to make a difference in Tobago to attend the workshop.
Now, Laddie and Mrs. Parks, I want to thank you so much for coming on this morning and sharing with us this workshop that you have intended for the purpose of transforming businesses, transforming lives, transforming the lives of the clients that come to these businesses. Because, as you said, business, when it comes to Christians and faith, should be one that is transformative, that should be one of service. And we're hoping that going forward that you get the 60 folk business owners to attend your workshop in Trinidad, and that out of that we have the change that we want to see, not just within our businesses but in our communities going forward. So I want to thank you ladies so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much for having us. And I just want to quickly say, please contact me, 788-3588, should you require more information. 788-3588, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for coming.
Do I have your permission to speak a little bit about the payment schedule? We have a payment schedule to make it easy for people to pay for the workshop. We have a first payment of 50% that we are encouraging persons to pay by June the 1st, and the final payment of 50%, which is $700, August the 15th. And our payment method is through a Network of Christians in business account, savings account number 2523708. And if you'd like more information about the Network of Christians in business, you can go to our website, ncbtt.org, and our international partners, Partners Worldwide, partnersworldwide.org. Thank you so much once again for having us.
Thank you so much. To our viewers, we want to say thank you for staying tuned with us. But we're going to head to a break and we'll be right back with more. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Your family taking long to play the card. I'm all inside you showing about. Yo, what school you went by?
Bayern Bishops, boy.
Bishops?
Yeah, we know the baddest has come out of Bishops, sir.
The baddest?
Bad telling away.
We know the baddest, boy. One night and I is the baddest.
My Bishops is the best, boy.
Yo, what's going on with Tola? What's going on? It's only one way to settle this. We'll be live on Youth Voice TV, where I, your host, Multibase, will be hosting the Rep Your School
DJ competition where DJs will go head to head in a crazy battle to secure the title. We have cash prizes of $10,000 to come out and win and a lot of amazing prizes. Guys, what are you waiting for? Let me come out, come and showcase your skills. Come, let me do some juggling.
So guys, there are two categories for DJs that are out of school up to 35 years. And for the DJs that are currently in school, it must be up to 19 years of age. So guys, get ready. It's all about rep your school. It's all about the DJ competition.
Who will bring the best vibes? Who can control the crowd? And who will earn the bragging rights? You get a chance to be a part and witness the rise of the new DJ generation. So this is Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ, live on Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ competition. Rep your school.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. We're shifting the conversation to health and wellness. Joining us virtually is Dr. Desmond Phillips, Doctor of Divinity, and Dr. Ann Gina Phillips, Doctor of Natural Health, both of Natural Healing Ministries. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning. Thank you so very much for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. Before we get into the program itself, tell us a bit about your journey from Natural Healing Ministries to the work you're doing now in holistic healing.
Wonderful good morning to everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in. So we are Drs. Desmond and Gina Phillips of NHM Professional Associates. We were previously known as Natural Healing Ministries for a number of years, and that was up until 2010. And now we operate under the non-profit organization name of NHM Professional Associates. As a matter of fact, we were working in Tobago for about 4 years up until 2010, before we closed off in the interest of our children. And we did have a wonderful experience with Tobago in terms of that drive and that search for natural health protocols and solutions. So we are very happy to be back in this space again, and I'm looking forward to much more.
Now, for someone hearing about the 21-day self-healing protocol for the first time, what exactly is it and what can participants expect out of this program?
So the 21-day self-healing protocol actually arose out of a need that we have seen. Over the years, we have worked with a lot of persons who have had a desire to experience health naturally. They have had a desire to learn what to do and how to do for themselves when it comes to natural health. But sometimes we find that what has happened is that a person may want to, but because they do not have the knowledge and they may not understand the importance of what you call the individual profile, they may be searching for information, getting a lot of information. They are being bombarded with a lot of information, and they may not get the right mix for themselves. So out of this came the 21-day self-healing protocol. And this is with the aim of giving a clearer guide for persons who have a serious desire to experience health and wellness the natural way, who have a serious desire to modify their lifestyle, to modify their diet. Because what we have found and what much research continues to show is that if we have eaten our way into this disease, we can eat and drink our way out of it. So that's the solution that we are offering to persons via the 21-day self-healing protocol. It's a guide, it's a clearer direction with support, which is important for a lot of persons. So what we do with the 21-day self-healing protocol is that we have a workshop, and that's the workshop that we are talking about on the 3rd of May. That's going to be held at the Cipriani Labour College. The purpose of the workshop is to build awareness and give people exposure to a forum where they can learn, they can grow, they can be supported in terms of what they want to experience naturally when it comes to health. The workshop is a precursor to the actual 21-day online program. So after we have finished that practical in-person workshop on the 3rd of May, what happens is from the 8th to the 28th of May, which is exactly 21 days, we then take you online. And for 21 days, we work closely with you in terms of lifestyle coaching for every single person who has a serious interest in modifying lifestyle to improve health.
What I like particularly about the 21 days healings protocol is that it allows persons to be able to, gradually transit from where they are to where they want to become, or where we will actively guide them as professional health and wellness consultants. We like to let persons know that you don't have to jump into anything cold turkey. You can take it gradually, because we recognize that by gradually making the necessary changes and modifying your diet and your lifestyle, you will get somewhere, and you will have the kind of support that is necessary for you to keep on going. Lots of people, they try diets, they try different things, different programs, but they jump into it, they drop off things, and then they add on things, and they kind of sustain it. But what we do with the program is that on the first day, we teach you something step by step. The second day, the third day, right up to 21 days. And we have discovered and we have learned as through research and clinical work that within 21 days, major changes can be made, and they'll be made, and they will remain with you because you had that time to transit from where you are, where you were uncomfortable, or where you were in your comfort zone, but you make those small changes in the diet. You understand what to have, what to eat, what to choose, what to buy in the supermarket, what to buy in the grocery shop, what to buy at the market itself, and how to prepare these foods so that they maintain what we call the life-giving enzymes, enzymatic therapy, as the case might be, so that you can actually move from the place of poor circulation, swelling in the knees, stiffness in the fingers, bloating eyes, bloating guts, and so on. The pains that come, the sharp pains that come, or even to get rid of parasites and things from in the gut, from in the alimentary canal, so that the 21 days self-healing protocol allow you to learn and to become empowered with the knowledge that is so absolutely necessary for you to make the change and to experience the change that you really desire.
Tobago has been traditionally a place, we back in the day did not necessarily use the expression natural healing. We had a bush we drank for everything. Times change, and with the age of information also came along some skepticism in terms of what do you use, why do you use, how much do you use. Does the workshop intend to share some of the science in the research that you keep referring to behind the use of natural products and the natural lifestyle? Does the workshop intend to share some of the science that can verify? Because, of course, people genuinely ask, where's the science that supports this? Does the workshop provide us with some of that?
I do want to say that what I'm hearing there is a very real concern. It has come with the transition into the age of information, because information is so readily available. And definitely, this is one of the concerns we wish to address, because you do have a multitude of persons. Yes, they want to use the natural things, but they have been accustomed to the the protocol of dosage and specific application and so on. So what we intend to share with persons is the practical approach in terms of the traditional usage, and definitely we deal with combinations. Combinations is very important and critical. We are going to be dealing with the issue of we don't want to say dosages, but the most appropriate use of what we actually apply when we do our foods, when we do our herbals. Because herbal is part of our food. It's not something we should think of separately, because traditionally, we use, for instance, we use big leaf thyme and we use bandania and we use spices. And yes, we know them as spices, we know them as culinary seasoning, but they have tremendous medicinal properties. So we are definitely going to delve into that, because those are serious questions that persons have. Sometimes it can be an obstacle, and our aim is to share the knowledge so that those kinds of obstacles could be removed and persons feel totally comfortable with the use of the traditional medicine in terms of our food and our herbals as we have to them.
So we've spoken about the location for this fair and this workshop. Let's talk about cost and dates as well.
Good. So the location of the workshop is the Cipriani Labour College. We have been using the Cipriani Labour College. It's a central location and it has worked very nicely for the last few workshops. The cost of the workshop is $300 TT. And basically the date of the workshop is Sunday the 3rd, and that's the first Sunday in the month of May. It is going to be the afternoon period. We use the afternoon. That's a little more convenient for persons on this Saturday, and that is going to span the time period 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So the venue, the Cipriani Labour College, the time 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, our scheduled time, and the cost of the workshop is $300.
I think a very reasonable cost for the work that we're going to be putting in order to help persons to really get a real hands-on experience of this, of particularly as we say the live food preparation, of foods, live preparation of foods. So we're talking about foods. At another time, we talk about herbal medicines. At another time, we speak about the enzymatic, benefits of all foods and herbs, and even natural therapies and so on. So this time, we are looking at the foods and how you can make use of foods to make a greater impact on your life, your energy, your performance, and everything else. It is something that we always think about. We are here in Trinidad. We have been in Tobago on many occasions for a period of over 3-4 years. Sometimes every month we will be there. There was a time when we went and we came there, every fortnight. We'll come across back and forth. But now we are here and we have the internet, and persons can interact with us and have the benefit of it as well. But this workshop is particularly to give persons that in-person and that hands-on experience. When you have a hand on the thing, you feel much better. So in person, we're going to be able to have the opportunity as well to interact with persons and for them to feel that vibrational, energy that brings so much of comfort and healing as well. So we always look at food. Food you must enjoy, but food is also for healing. What you eat and drink today will walk and talk tomorrow. If you eat the foods that are dead, if you eat the foods that are not contributing to your upkeep and your health and well-being, then that's what will walk and talk on tomorrow. So many persons who we have been interacting with and they've been saying, listen, I'm experiencing this, I'm experiencing that. All different sorts of ill feelings, or as we say in dis-ease. And with your food and knowledge of the food and how to prepare that food or those foods can make a big difference. It's not just about product, it's about the produce of the land that the Most High has given to us. We want our people to get back to the place where they can trust God, where they can trust the Most High, where they can trust what He has provided for them and make use of that. So we have Dr. Angina has a favorite quote that she likes to use. We want to be garden fed, rather than grocery fed. We want to be garden fed rather than grocery fed. And when we get it produced in the lab, we need to know how to take care of it, how to use them so that they can transfer their life-giving energies to us. Because to take good
Thank you
foods
so
and then
much,
you
Dr.
prepare it in
Phillips.
such a way that it does not give you health, well, that's the problem as well.
We want to thank you so much for that this morning and all that information that persons would be privy to once they come to the workshop on May 3rd.
And I think that's a good place because we want to go back to the culture of Tobago as well for being garden fed rather than grocery fed. We're talking the 21-day self-healing protocol. Thank you, Dr. Phillips, for joining us, and we trust that the workshop is going to be a very, very successful one.
Now, viewers, we're wrapping up this morning at Tobago Updates morning show. There you have it. We had such a packed morning, varying from health, varying from Christians in business. But we want us to ask you to stay tuned. Up next, we have GMT. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Today we had the main ridge cleanup, so we had a lot of stakeholders come together in the best interest of ensuring that the main ridge is, nicely preserved. We were blessed to have the presence of the EMA, the Environmental Management Authority. We had the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program here in full support, and we also had representatives from TTAL, Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, as well as the regular support from the Office of the Secretary, Mr. Henry, and members of the Forestry Department.
The cleanup is part of our efforts to celebrate World Forestry Day or International Day of the Forest. This is a day that was declared by the United Nations General Assembly in 2012 to highlight the importance of forests to the entire globe, basically. And we, being part of the division, we normally will do this as part of our commemorative day to show that we are stewards of the environment and of the forest resources that we have.
We had bottles, we had a lot of bottles. Come from motorists traversing the area, they throw their bottles out the window. We had some plastic bags, a lot of cigarette packs, and cigarettes is a real concern to me. When you throw the butts out the window, it causes a lot of bushfire. So I'm pleading with people across the nation, please be mindful of these things.
Waste Matter still gets itself into protected green areas, and we as humans and we as Tobagonians, we have a duty and responsibility to be stewards of these spaces in just very simple actions. If you're driving through the rainforest, we expect that you would keep your trash or your rubbish with you until you get to a point where you can dispose of it safely and efficiently.
Our main Ridge Forest Reserve is our backyard, and once it's our backyard, it's our home, and we have a responsibility to treat our home with respect and protect it, not only for now, but for our young ones coming up and for the greater. Rainforest contributes to a lot of our climate, the ozone, the oxygen that we breathe on a daily basis. So it is good to protect what matters most, and we start at home.
The main ridge protects our entire biodiversity, and it also secures our water resources. And I believe that our livelihood actually is deeply rooted and connected to nature, whether you like it or not. For some persons, it is direct. For some persons, it is indirect. And for me, it is indeed a
I would call it an extraordinary milestone, because you know, this year, come April, we are actually celebrating 250 years of this Main Ridge Reserve being protected since 1776.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host Chanel Felix, and ladies and gentlemen, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have. Well, I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. The Division of Education, Skills and Innovations Secretary Orlando Kerr, at a ceremony on Monday, presented instruments of appointment to the board members of the Tobago Information Technology Limited, chaired by Otis Noel, the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, chaired by Kino Sami, and the Training Awards Committee, led by Trelicia St. John Small. Secretary Kerr noted these appointments bring a diverse team who is ready to advance the island's technology and tourism sectors. Additionally, Tutor meets with the Minister of Education today to finalize the salary adjustments. The Tobago officer confirmed that calculations and communications are currently underway with the division until adjustments are made in the April salaries, and those payments hit teachers' accounts, a significant step towards addressing long-standing wage concerns for the island's teachers and staff. And finally, TEMA is putting the public on alert as the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season names are officially out, starting with Arthur, Bertha, and Cristobal. TEMA is urging Tobagonians to start building their emergency kits and reviewing family evacuation plans well before June 1st starting date. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we jump straight ahead into our conversations, and I have the privilege of being joined virtually this morning to chat with Lizanne Lazarus, who is from the eye screening unit, who is the eye screening unit manager for the Trinidad Eye Hospital. This morning we're talking about their diabetic eye screening campaign that's happening right here on the island of Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So tell us a bit about this campaign. where it's taking place in Tobago, and how can persons access this eye screening?
Right. So we are coming to Tobago from the 21st to the 24th. We're actually doing a few things while we're there. So we are doing some school screening on the 21st. So we're going into Goodwood Secondary School to do some vision testing and providing glasses for any students who may have failed that vision test. That has been sponsored by Massey Foundation. So all the children who receive glasses will not have any cost applied for those glasses. On the 22nd and 23rd, we will be at Roxborough on the 22nd and Charlottesville on the 23rd. So what we do is eye screening. So what we would have noticed over the years, there is a trend that not just diabetics are experiencing a lot of eye disease. So we've expanded our program to include anyone over the age of 12. So once you are over the age of 12, we will have our links up on our Facebook and Instagram pages at Trinidad Eye Hospital. And you can sign up there for clinics at those particular areas, at the libraries in those areas, and you can have your eyes tested on those days. On the Friday, which is the 24th, we'll also be working with Alcon, who has graciously provided further care after the screening. So they are providing clinical care and glasses for people who qualify for glasses. That will be at the Scarborough Library on Friday the 24th.
Excellent. And tell us a bit about the event that's happening on the 24th at the Scarborough Library. What time does it begin, and who is invited to come and be a part of that? Is there a particular quarter that you're looking at? Do persons have to register before the actual date? Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, so they would have to register online on the list. We usually see about 60 persons per day. We will try to get as many people into the clinic, because usually when we come to Tobago, we get a really good response. But once you sign up on that link on our Facebook and Instagram pages, you will be contacted with an appointment time to come in. And there's also the opportunity on the 2 days before as well with the Diabetes Association and with Trinidad Eye Hospital to have your eyes screened at different locations as well.
Understood. And, tell us a bit about the importance of screening for the students. And you said that you'd be at Goodwood High School. Would that include any other schools while you're here? And can we look forward to partnerships in the future as it pertains to getting the eyes of students tested and donation of glasses?
Yes, definitely. We definitely want to come back to Tobago. We rely a lot on corporate sponsorship. So this would be my call to corporate Tobago to really support us as we try to make an impact. So vision is a very easy way to build self-esteem. A lot of children will feel that they're unable to keep up, but in reality, it could be a vision problem. And that kind of impact their confidence and how they move through life. So we want to give them the best platform to develop and grow. So we will continue to raise funds. We have our own foundation, which is the C Foundation. We will continue to build funds and come to Tobago and continue that partnership and screening of Tobago students as well.
Understood. And can parents reach out to your organization if they are seeking assistance in getting discounted glasses or even a free pair of glasses for their kids if they are unable to afford the cost?
Yes. So with our foundation now, our goal is to get rid of avoidable blindness, and uncorrected vision problems are one of those issues. So if there is a concern, you can definitely reach out to us. We will try our best. There is a lot of need, so we do a lot of need-based assessment, but we always strive to do and help as many people as we can at the Trinidad Eye Hospital.
And what group would you say is most at risk for blindness, or should be most willing to come and participate in these screenings that would be taking place?
So if you're over 40, you should generally have an eye test every year. If you have a history of glaucoma in your family, if you're diabetic, if you experience any flashing lights, sharpness, headaches, all of those things, you need to have your eyes tested. A lot of people tend to depend on their vision, so they will constantly say, I'm seeing well, so I don't think I have an issue. The thing with eye disease is that it can creep up on you. So a lot of the times when you notice issues, it's already at the point that there is a lot of pathology happening in the back of the eyes. And the goal of screening is to catch these changes early enough so that any treatment that is administered is more likely to protect and preserve your vision. So I would say do not depend on your vision alone. Look at your family history. If you're over the age of 40, you need to make sure that you have your eyes tested at least once a year.
Right. And how can persons reach out? You said that there's a form to fill out to be a part of the screening. How can persons, if they are unable to access the technology, reach you or get into contact with you to book an appointment, possibly over the phone?
Yes. So you can call the Diabetes Association contact number, or you can reach us directly at Trinidad Eye Hospital at 235-4834 or 235-4TEH. You can contact us and select extension 6, and we will assist you as best as we can.
Excellent. And what other initiatives or activities can we look forward to from you guys in Tobago in the near future?
We generally visit Tobago at least once a year. So this is a continuing thing. I think we've been doing it for about 5 years. Particularly, the Diabetes Association has trusted us a lot to partner with us to come to Tobago and offer our services. Again, this is a group effort. Eye disease continues to grow in Trinidad and Tobago, particularly because the diabetes rate continues to go up, and all of these other conditions. Refractive error is also an issue because we spend a lot of time on our devices and don't take enough breaks. So again, sponsorship is very important as continuing to work with like-minded individuals is very important as well.
Right. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning. Even as we wrap up our discussion as it pertains to the free diabetic eye screening, just to remind persons that it's not just for persons with diabetes, and give the public some more information as it pertains to that.
Right. So again, you can visit our social media. There are a lot of different locations. We're in Canaan, Roxborough, Charlottesville, Scarborough. So you can look at our social media and find out. You can also call us at 235-4834 or 235-4TEH for more information. You can also reach out to the Diabetes Association as well. Again, I just want to enforce that seeing well is not an indicator of healthy eyes. You need to be proactive and not just wait for something to occur. The earlier that you intervene, particularly with your eye health, the more likely that we will be able to preserve and protect the vision that you do have. And you need your vision for your independence and your quality of life.
Understood. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning, and we want to encourage all persons looking on, if you do know someone who can benefit from these free eye screenings, then let them know that they can look for the Eye Hospital on Facebook, and they can check their social medias and get all the information they need on all the areas in Tobago that they will be visiting to give those free screenings. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time. It's all next on this station.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me.
morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we jump straight ahead into our conversation, and this morning I have the opportunity to chat via phone call with Mr. Alan Ferguson, who is the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association. This morning we are chatting about some of the major changes that are expected for scrap iron dealers to come. Good morning, Mr. Ferguson, and welcome.
Good morning to you and good morning to your viewers. It's a pleasure to be here.
Excellent. Tell us a bit about some of the changes that are expected for the industry.
Well, what will have happened since the last year, we will recommend to the Minister of Trade to make some changes in reference to our industry, because when we had a meeting with him, he said this industry is an industry that in selling out things out of Trinidad and Tobago, and we shall do everything to make it better. So we had recommended that he put a team together, and the team now will come up with some ideas. So the whole thing about it is a working team, and the team of the thing of the people of Ministry of Trade, it have the police, it have the EMA, it have Town and Country, it have the Swim Court, it have the Attorney General Office, it have some other ministry working with the group together. Even yesterday we had a meeting, and one of the major things in the meeting and we had yesterday is to try to come up with some plans to be able to deal with these people who are going around keeping copper. You know, because if you want to fix an industry, you must be able to fix the problem that we have in. Because while you're fixing and people giving our industry bad light, we need to come up with ideas how we can deal with that. So that is one of the major things that we have to deal with. But otherwise, the industry will centralize the industry, so we will be able to monetize more than how it is. It will be no longer scrapyard being all over the country. What we're going to do is centralize it, that we have a place in the Rima area, a place in the central, in the Port of Spain area, in the south area, you know. So also we want to set it up in Tobago also too. So this is one of the major good for the industry. Also we as the association, we're going to take a different angle on how we do business. In reference to, we're not going to just deal with scrap iron alone, we're going to deal with paper, plastic, oil, even the old food, you know. What we're going to do, you know, sometimes the government and the Tobago Assembly, they spend millions of dollars in the garbage, the berry garbage. So we know we're going to recycle it, you know. So all these things is new things in our industry that's going to take place in the coming years, you know.
Right.
And as we said, we start our go ahead.
We know that under the previous government, there was a time when, because the situation with the stealing of copper and, you know, other iron-based products and equipment and tools was so rampant around Trinidad and Tobago that the government had basically put a stop on trading of scrap iron. The conversation about evolving the industry with this government, can you give us some insight into how that conversation is going? Are you seeing more receptive feedback from the minister? Tell us a bit about where the conversation is.
No, well, we have to understand we live in a place. Everybody, you know, we have to be honest. Trinidad is a lawless country. And it's not only in our industry we having problems. It's a lot of different areas we having a lot of problems. We had to come up with some ideas, and we had to come with something. This is our industry, and we had to find a way how we could how we could stop a lot of these theft from taking place. And as I mentioned to you, it must be more policing and it must be more enforcement, because really we don't have enforcement in Trinidad and Tobago, and because of that we have a lot of people doing what they want and don't care, because enforcement is out the door right now. So unless we put things in place to make sure that we set up things to have enforcement. One of the things that we discussed yesterday is that a task force will set up to be able to deal with it. So we working to try to eliminate this theft, because it's not only theft taking place in the scrap industry, it's all different kind of thing happening with the country. And if we don't fix it, we will run into a serious problem, because now people think that it's easy to go and thief and go and sell things, So we have to find some way, and it must not be a long distance. We have to deal with this immediately, and I told them that yesterday. We have to deal with this problem of theft immediately. This is something or we have to deal with it, and I is one of the persons I am pushing for seriousness to deal with this theft, because there's a problem. I mean, a lot of people calling into the association and saying a lot of different things, but we is just one, but the thing about it is that sometimes people go and thief, and there doesn't be scrap dealers, there's people just coming off the street and doing all kind of thing, it doesn't have to be, sometimes they have to bring it to our yard, and it's very difficult to determine what is stolen item and what is not stolen item, because when they burn the copper, or when they bring a piece of iron which is old to your yard, it's very difficult sometimes to get it if it's a stolen item, So all these things is things that we have to work out, and it's very difficult.
Understood. And you spoke a bit about diversifying into other areas such as paper and plastic recycling. We know that there's a huge thrust towards sustainability and just, that environmental preservation and doing what it takes to ensure that we are climate resilient. What are some of the conversations that you have been having to push that along, or partnerships that are being proposed on the table right now to ensure that that actually happens and it's not just an idea that stays at the stage of being an idea?
Well, as we speak right now, we have some people from outside of Trinidad working with us to able for us to get the equipment and the machinery to help us to recycle all these things. We as the association, we pushing speed ahead to try to get this organized. I mean, recycling is recycling is one of the serious things in other countries, all part of the world. When you go to places, Singapore, China, and all these places, they move. They're up in front. I mean, and these are the people. We take a serious look at that to do all of our catalysts of how we go forward in recycling material in Trinidad. And as I mentioned, Trinidad is one of the countries produce a lot of waste. Trinidad, we produce a lot of waste, and if we put our heads together and put things together, we will save our country a lot. Because when you watch the dump of a Port of Spain and the dump in Rima, Claxon Bay, and all in Tobago, you watch, where we bury these things and these dumps is water course, and where we supposed to be working by recycling the material, we bury the material, and we as our organization, we save the environment by recycling all these material that we recycle. So this is going to be something good for Trinidad and Tobago, and we're going to be able to give thousands of people work in these areas. A lot of people will get work, So and also we will bring in a lot of foreign exchange. So this is not about just coming up with ideas. It's about coming up to job employment, foreign exchange, this is what we are about, bringing better for our country, Trinidad and Tobago. So when you look at us, we thinking in not about the future, so this is how we going,
Understood. And what type of support do you think is required right now for scrap iron dealers in Tobago, in Trinidad, but particularly in Tobago, to meet this type of standard that is required for the type of progress that you are suggesting for the industry?
Well, the last time we was in Tobago and we had a meeting with the Tobago Assembly, they promised us to work with us to able to get a piece of land to able for us to do the recycling. So it will bring benefit for Tobago. It will bring help, and what it will do now, it will clamp down in a lot of steps that taking place in Tobago. But it's very hard now to get meetings back to able to fulfill these areas with the Tobago Assembly, but to able to the chief Mr. Paddy has promised us that he will look at a piece of land for us close to the dump area for us to set up. This is where we want to go now, to be able to push Tobago in a different light and help the recycling Tobago. So
right.
we hope and we pray that we get a meeting back with them to start to put things in a respectable for recycling, not only scrap, for recycling in Tobago.
Okay. Well, I want to suggest that the association writes directly to the secretary for the division, because there's now someone who is directly in charge of the environment under the Division of the Environment, Climate Resilience and Energy, and that might be the fastest channel to have that conversation continuing to move ahead, as we now have a Secretary Assembly member, Darren Henry, that serves in that capacity. So maybe that's something that you can look into.
I will take your advice, and I will allow my secretary to send out a letter before the week done, because this isn't very important, because I'm saying that we want to change the recycling in Trinidad and Tobago and do much better what we are doing. And the only how we could do that is when we get the help from the people in the authority to do the necessary things for us to go forward in what we're doing.
Excellent. Well, there's been a number of things that you guys have been doing to try to improve or try to remove the stain of the name concerning scrap iron, and persons, looking at the industry as one that is riddled with theft and just unprofessionalism. Moving forward, what are some of the activities that the association has in place to continue to rebuild that public trust in the industry?
No, well, one of the things that we do, we will be changing our name from not Scrap Dealers Association, but we deal with more recycling. And then we will start a campaign together with us, with the Ministry of Trade, from probably next week, where we will start to sensitize people in reference to recycling and try to change the image. So we're going with a campaign on different media and different areas to try to change the image of the industry and our name, So it's going to be a lot rolling out in this industry by the next week or so, to be able to change the image of the industry. Because you see, long something happen like a shutdown or stealing or whatever take place, a lot of people will get the bad things about the industry, but there's a lot going on good that sometimes people pass the people and them they don't take a look at the amount of good the association and the industry is doing. Because sometimes when people, they are old bed or old stove or old fridge, they just trade all over the place. Sometimes they trade down clip. We go down there and pick it up and bring it out and recycle it. We save the environment. Sometimes we have people working in all these dumps. The battery, all the different things that you bring to the dump, and that go and interfere with the water course and the dump full up. We remove a lot of the material from all the dumps all over Trinidad and Tobago. We do a lot of work for the country, and we we doesn't get help from no government or no institution to help what we doing, you know. We had to work hard to put our industry where we want it to go. We don't get no assistance from no government saying that we get some intervention when the month come or when the year come. We have to do what we have to do. We just go out and do all we need to do from our money, you know. So we walk and we talk, and we talk and we talk, and we walk and we walk too, you know. We ain't just saying we want to do something and waiting for help from government or wherever it is. So the whole thing about it is that we're ready to work for the country, for Trinidad and Tobago, to make the environment a much better environment, make it more safe and thing for the environment. And this is where we are. This is all we are about. And when we go like Singapore, we go to different countries where we meet people from all different countries in the world. And when we start talking, when we start speaking in reference to in conference, when we go, there is access where we get this knowledge from in industry. And sometimes people not aware that when you go all Europe and all over the world, you see us in middle page, take 2 pages that we are being all over based on our knowledge in the industry, you know. Right. So we want to take our recycling also in the sea. We're in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean have a lot of ships that sink in and sink and all kind of thing. We working with people from outside of Trinidad and Tobago to work to have a big ship project that we cut up a lot of ship in the Caribbean area, and Trinidad will be the major hub rate. You know, these are things that we do, and this is nothing that start overnight. You know, these are things that take millions of dollars sometimes to put together, and we are ready to roll out all these projects because we did all the necessary things we need to do now.
Okay.
So this is where we going, and but under my leadership and my executive, this is where we taking the industry to a different level now, you know?
Yes, understood. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here and chatting with us this morning and giving us some insights on what has been happening and how the industry has been developing. As we round off our discussion this morning, is there anything that you want to say to our viewers listening?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of our discussions this morning. We want to thank you so much for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a great and productive day.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and